again, babes. Happy November if I get this edited and uploaded in time. So for today's video, I'm kind of doing a part 2. Maybe there will be more parts. I don't know yet. You guys responded really well to my fat sex myths video, and that meant so much to me because it was something that I've wanted to talk about for a really long time, but I was like, ooh, I don't know, because I am not a sexpert. Let me say first and foremost, I don't have any continued education on these subjects. These are just my opinions, my experiences, the things that I have gone through as a fat woman having sex. So I was just unsure of how the response was going to be. I was hoping that it was going to be well, and it seemed to be really good. So here are, again, a bunch of opinions that you don't have to take, but you asked for and I'm giving them to you. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me if you would just like, just tap, just give it a little spanking, a little slap in, just hit the subscribe button. Okay, on to the video. So I asked you guys what in the sex realm, in the fat sex realm, you guys wanted me to talk about or share my experiences about. And one thing that I got a lot of positive feedback on was our tummies, our big, beautiful tummies, and what to do if we're not exactly there with our self-confidence. I will say that I am very confident in my body now, but that took a really long time to get there. It took a lot of work, and it took a lot of, trial and error and finding out what worked for me as far as building up my confidence. And, you just shouldn't have to put your sex life on hold until you feel really good about yourself. Let people make you feel good until you feel good. So when I was younger, I used to do a lot of hiding my belly. I was really self-conscious about it. I was like, I have a big belly. I mean, I might have big hips and big thighs, but I have this big belly and I have this little chest. And I just feel like they're gonna look at it and they're just gonna see like a Santa Claus, and like that's not attractive. I found out later that I was very wrong. Nobody thinks of it that way. Like, number one, first and foremost when it comes to this subject, the partner that you have knows exactly what you look like. If they want to have sex with you, they know that you have a big belly. There's no amount of clothing that you can put on that's gonna hide it. There's no amount of corsets you can wear that are gonna hide the fact that they know exactly how you are shaped. If they tell you they didn't know, then they're stupid. Don't sleep with them. And the people that have already slept with you and you're just unsure if they like you, they still want to have sex with you. They like you, I promise you. The number one best thing you can do for yourself is just try and work on your body confidence. Look at yourself naked on a regular basis, even if it's only for a few seconds. For a few seconds, stand in the mirror and look at yourself. And instead of finding all the things that you don't like about yourself, go searching for the things that you like about yourself. Sometimes it takes other people liking us before we understand, and I get what that feels like. And I know that that's not exactly the answer that people like to hear or people want to talk about, but I will say that it took a lot of my friends telling me that I was really beautiful before I actually started to believe that I might be. I was very lucky to have those friends in my life, and I was very privileged to have people who wanted me to feel good about myself. And I want to thank them, the ones that knew how I felt about my body and did their damnedest to try and make me feel good in my body. And even though we didn't work out romantically, and even though we might not be friends anymore, if you were a person in my life who made an active effort to make me feel good about myself, then I thank you, because my life has been made better by your existence. Oh, I'm sorry, I know that was a long rant, but I have to say that, I don't want you guys to feel like you have to hide your bodies to feel good or to have sex. And I don't want you to think that this video is encouraging you to do so. I want you to take it all off and show it all off because it's fucking great. I understand that not everybody is there in their journey. And so these are the things that I did that helped me when I was feeling horny, but I wasn't necessarily feeling body confident. Area one that I learned really helped me feel sexy when I wasn't always feeling sexy with every part of my body was to get into outfits. There are a lot of different options that you can choose from, and there are a lot of different patterns, a lot of different materials, but I found the ones that are best for either hiding this tummy or flattering it with if you have big hips or big thighs that go with your big tummy are things like baby dolls. Just a sort of thin bra-like material, which is good for me because I have small breasts. If you're a bigger breasted woman, you might have to get one with a little bit more support. This one's a little bit flimsy, but it's not like I keep it on very long anyways. It's got a mesh dress part that goes out. This one is from Torrid. I got it a few years ago. I know they probably won't have this one specifically in stock anymore, but they'll probably have things of a similar style. So the back looks like this. So it's got like a 4 clasp, and then it comes up the back with the same sort of material, which does help a little bit of like our little bit of hangy bits. I found that baby dolls were probably, in my personal opinion, for my body type, which is a very small top, and it just sort of like gets bigger as you go down. So I guess I am considered pear-shaped. Baby dolls definitely sit in a way that looks really, really nice. And sometimes the larger your tummy, the bigger your hips tend to look, and the more flared out the baby doll seems to be. And it can actually be a little bit of like a better thing to have that little bit of extra girth to make you look a little bit more flowy and curvy out into that area. So I would recommend baby dolls are gonna be your friend. I don't have one right now, but the other thing that sorry, there's like a cat here that's just, the other thing that helped me a lot were skirts. I found that I got it. You can't see it there, but there's a tiny cat here, but I got it. The other thing that I tend to lean toward that I don't necessarily buy all the time anymore, but I really, really liked when I was younger. Oh, I say younger, like when I was a child, but I just mean when I was like 19. And generally what I would do, so for my body shape, I have a tummy that like hangs over, so I have like a little bit more girth in the front, is I would put it right at the bottom of my belly and I would put it on the top of my hips. So the skirt wasn't necessarily resting right on my hip bones. It was kind of resting on like the top of my love handles. And a lot of times what that would do is it would make my hips look a little bit wider, but the skirt is meant to be worn on the hip bones most of the time. So when you take it up a little bit, you almost let your butt sort of like peekaboo out of the bottom, and that can be a great focal point. What my theory was, is if I just drew attention away from my tummy, I wasn't necessarily hiding my tummy, it was still there, but that's not where your focus was. And a lot of these like tips and tricks are gonna kind of be that. Like baby dolls basically just put like a light layer of mesh, but you're still sticking out of the bottom. The thighs are still out, the bits are still out. Next thing you can do to draw attention away from your tummy is to draw attention to other places. Again, change the focus. Get yourself some thigh highs. These are thigh high socks. I have them in maroon, I have them in black. You can get thigh highs in like a variety of different types of fishnets and mesh, but just put the attention. I found it. So the term between, and this is an anime, but you can apply this to your fat girl outfits. If you want to wear a skirt and thigh highs, oh my god, I feel so fucking nerdy and weeby just sharing this with you. It's called the absolute territory. So this is the area between your thighs and where your thigh highs end and when your skirt begins, and it's a great place to focus a lot of attention. Another way that you can draw attention to a different area is with your underwear, obviously. Maybe you don't want to wear something that's flowy and big. Maybe you would prefer to just wear like a cutoff shirt that like hangs on your breasts, and you want to cover it up with a sexy t-shirt. Put on a G-string, put on a thong, put on lace underwear, and draw attention to that ass. Draw attention to your groin area. Put something that is visually really appealing in that area, and I promise you they're not gonna focus on whether or not you're wearing a cut-off t-shirt. They're gonna focus on the fact that your ass is in that G-string and they wanna put their face in it. So that's basically sort of like the pre-stuff that you can do to sort of help with this area. A lot of it is gonna be about what you wear and how you wear it. The next part of something that you could do, getting into the more of the foreplay type of area, is change the roles up, ladies. Put him in a blindfold. If you feel uncomfortable being naked in front of your man, tie him down. Don't let him look at you. You can just get like a cheap one. This is just from Adam and Eve. It came with a kit. You can use your tights. I mean, you can use a tie, you can use anything you want, and just put him in a blindfold. And then that makes him feel like you're taking away one sense and you're focusing entirely on his or her pleasure. I keep saying his, but again, most of the sex I've had is hetero, but this can be applied to women too. I don't care if he wants to dominate you, if he wants to be the one doing all the pumping. No, 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 no. Not in this house, not on this bed. You're getting blindfolded and you're getting your dick sucked. You can take off your clothes, you can be full tummy out, hanging out. They have no idea. But you're focusing on their pleasure, and that's really, really sexy. This can also be reversed for you. If you feel uncomfortable looking at your tummy, put a blindfold on yourself, let them blindfold you. I assure you, like, I know that this is gonna be really, really scary because you're giving up one of your senses, but the idea of you not being able to look at your body can kind of take away a little bit of that anxiety that you have toward it. Like, knowing that you can see it can kind of make you think so much about what it looks like that if you can't see it, sometimes you have to just let yourself focus on something else because you don't have anything to visually stimulate that idea in your head of like, what do I look like? What do I look like? What do I look like? You know? Instead, you're kind of focusing on this sort of release of control, and releasing that control can help you work on your body confidence and can be really, really pleasurable. All right on into the penetrative part of sex, if that is part of your sex. So the positions that I tended to lean toward were a lot of me not on my back. It took me a really long time to feel comfortable on my back unless the lights were completely off. And I feel like sometimes that can just be, again, still a little bit anxious because when you're on your back, you can see pretty much you can see basically your stomach and your tits. And for somebody who's feeling really uncomfortable about those parts of their bodies, having to like look at it or knowing it's there and constantly wanting to look at it is gonna build up that anxiety in your head and make it that much worse. So the obvious one, the one that everybody sort of goes for, but it is great, just sometimes it's about finding the right way to be bent down, is the downward dog. Basically, you scrunch up your tummy between your thighs and your upper body, and there isn't really much of a visual of your stomach at all. So if that's something that you wanna do, that's what I did a lot. That was my favorite position for a really long time. It also works great for rubbing the G-spot. Top of which, it's a pretty generic, sexy position. Like, it's really hard not to look at somebody with their ass and thighs just looking at you and not want to be inside of it. If you have a headboard that's pretty sturdy like I do, you can always do, if your bed is sturdy enough, you could try doing standing. I don't feel that comfortable, but a lot of times I will lean my arms up against my headboard and my ass will sort of be sticking out, because remember, you don't have to have your ass right into the air. Like, people are only so tall. But a lot of times I'll have sort of like a curve of my back while I'm up on the headboard, and it's a place for you to rest without putting all your weight on your arms, but your ass is still out, and again, your stomach is not the focal point. Now this one, I know is gonna sound really, really weird. And I know it's going to be something that a lot of you guys are gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're crazy. But lean, if you're gonna be like on your back, lean back over something, not fully over. Don't like hang upside down for too long, because the blood will rush to your head and you will start to get nauseous eventually. So you don't want to do that for more than like a minute at a time. But lean sort of over something, like over the edge of your bed just a little bit, or just with your hands back. So you're stretching out your torso, so you're stretching the surface area, so your stomach isn't bunched up together, so it doesn't stick out as much. It's more laying back, and when your thighs are open a lot and your body has a chance to sort of go back like this, it can appear to be smaller. And the last thing is gonna be really obvious and is again gonna be kind of a lecture, but just talk to your partner. Like, even if they're just like your fuck buddy, trust me, like, your fuck buddy, if they don't respond to you and you're like, hey, this is something that I feel really self-conscious about, do you mind if I keep a shirt on, or do you mind if I keep my lingerie on, or do you mind if maybe we do this position? If they're like, no, we're doing it my way, you shouldn't be having sex with that person anyways. Drop them. I don't care how hot they are, I don't care how rich they are, I don't care how much you think that you're gonna change them. You're not. If somebody isn't focused on your pleasure, don't have sex with them. All you have to do is tell them, hey, this isn't something I feel comfortable with, or hey, this isn't a position that I like, it makes me feel self-conscious about my body. And the right people will help you work on that, or will just not put you in a position that's gonna make you feel that way. Just talk to them. Your friends with benefits should be your friends first. Any person that you're letting near your genitals, if they don't have a shred of respect for you and about your mental health, then you shouldn't be letting them anywhere near your genitals. Anyways guys, that's everything for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you found something inspiring, or you thought of something a different way, or maybe you just really want to have sex with your partner now. I hope that I caused some sort of sensation inside of you. So let me know what you want to see. I want to know what you want to see. So comment down below anything that you want me to make a video on. Again, hit this like button if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.